you're watching this, I'm already on vacation. You heard that right, I'm actually taking some time off. Right now I'm probably gallivanting somewhere in Western Canada with my wife. We're gonna be gone for a couple of weeks, so my goal was to try and record some videos ahead of time so that there would still be content coming out while I'm gone. So I reached out to you guys on Instagram and Twitter and asked for your questions so that we could do some kind of a question and answer segment. And boy, did you guys come in strong with the questions. Now I don't wanna make this too long, so I'm not gonna answer all of the questions that came in. And so I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of 20 Questions with Dunna.
Let's go.
The name pretty much gives it away. I'm gonna answer 20 of your guys' questions all about cameras and filmmaking and photography and YouTube and bananas. You can't really see him right now, but my cat Cubert is having a nap beside me. Oh yeah, you can see his butt. We're set up and ready to go. Let's get to the questions. Number 1, what is your main motivation? Is there someone you look up to? Did you have dreams as a child? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a forensic scientist. I liked the idea of dusting for fingerprints, and I think that's about as far as it went. I didn't really know much else about it, but I thought it would be cool to get to be the person who solved crimes and stuff. I think maybe I read novels about detectives when I was a kid. My main motivation is probably just creativity. I just like to always be creating something. I have to have like a project on the go at all times. So I'd say that's probably my main motivation. About 50 of you guys asked if I am going to go full frame and why I haven't gone full frame or what's stopping me from going full frame. The A7 line from Sony is very tempting, but it's a big process to switch over, not even just between companies, but from APS-C to full frame. You gotta look into lenses and it gets a lot more expensive than just the camera body. So I'm very tempted all the time, but I'm also really happy with how things are looking from my APS-C cameras. Where do you see your channel going in the near/far future? The funny thing about my channel is that it's kind of my side thing. One of the things that I always told myself about my channel is that it always had to be fun for me. I'm not like super scared to change things up if I want to, and I have a funny feeling like in the next year or so, I'll probably be wanting to make some changes. The gear reviews and stuff are a lot of fun, but I think eventually I'll probably want to either spice up the gear reviews somehow, or change into doing more tutorial-based stuff, which I do some of now, or go back to what I started with more, which was vlogging. I'd like to find a little bit more of a balance between those three. I think that's kind of the first change. How has owning a one wheel changed your vlogging style? Well, crashing was a big change for me because my ankle is still hurt. And for the first couple of weeks, like I couldn't stand really or walk around much. And so filming became like trying to sit as much as possible, and I couldn't do any like crouching or anything like that. So, but other than that, like I rip around on the one wheel to go find locations now all the time. So if I'm at work and I just need to do a little segment, I'll hop on the one wheel and I'll ride a kilometer away from work and go find a cool spot to set up. And then of course I also like feature it in a couple of videos here and there. It's a lot of fun and it's kind of like a thing that people want to talk about too. It's like a good conversation starter. So I guess it has changed how I make videos. Expensive camera or good lens? I think like a lot of people say, glass is probably more important than the camera itself. Pretty much every camera that's out there nowadays is like at least half decent. Obviously there are some things that you can do with certain cameras and some things that you can't do with other cameras. But in the end, if you don't put good glass in front of it, it's not going to look good no matter what you do. Do you get camera shy and how do you overcome it? That's a super interesting question. I'd say that I do get camera shy. I think it depends a lot on my mood and kind of where I'm at and what I'm talking about too. Like if it's something that I'm super comfortable just nerding out about, then chances are I'm probably not going to be camera shy about it. But if it's something that I feel a little bit unsure of, or if I feel like maybe I'm missing some of the information that I might need or something like that, then I definitely get camera shy. But I don't know that that's necessarily about the camera as much. And then as far as overcoming it, I think practice is a huge part of it. Just having made like I don't even know how many videos I have, 150 or something like that on YouTube. And then just like making sure that you know your stuff, whatever you're gonna say, make sure you understand it through and through. When I go into something, I just like dive in all the way and make sure I know it really well. That was a tangent. Would you be down for doing a collab with Peter McKinnon? Yeah, I definitely collab with Peter. He was one of the first guys that I started watching when I was like trying to learn how to do YouTube and stuff. Maybe if we all share this video and tweet at Peter and tell him that he should do a collab with me. We can go to Peyto or Moraine Lake or something like that together. What do you think about college? Ooh, that's a big question. I like college. I really, really liked my time at college, but I went to kind of abnormal colleges. It's okay, buddy. My cat hears something in the hallway. You all right? The first college that I went to was a private school for audio recording. So it was like 60 students every year, and there was like a set curriculum, like you didn't choose classes or anything like that. And that was awesome. And then the next place that I went to school was at a university in town here for music. So I have a diploma in recording, and then one in drum performance, and then another one in music composition. The way that I see it is that if you're the kind of person who's going to put in the work to learn that thing quickly, then you probably don't need college necessarily. But college for me was a way to learn those skills faster than if I wasn't in that setting. With my drum performance diploma, for example, like you're required to practice at least 3 hours a day. And I was putting in sometimes upwards of 10 hours of playing per day because I had tests coming up and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know that if I wasn't in college, if I would do that kind of thing. There are certain things that I get very passionate about, but I need deadlines and I need tests and I need projects and those kinds of things, and school gives that to you. So it's a little different for everybody, but I personally really, really thrived when I was at school. What would you suggest to someone trying to take photography pro in a small town? I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how small you're talking, but if you're looking for clients and that kind of thing, you just need to like put yourself out there and maybe build up a portfolio, do some free stuff if you have to. The nice thing about like artistic endeavors is that they're pretty much wanted everywhere, whether it be music or photography or videos or whatever. Like there's got to be businesses in your small town that might need some photography, or there are probably people who want to get their wedding photos taken or whatever it happens to be. So really you just got to put yourself out there and find those people who want what you're offering. Is there any chance that you're going to switch from Sony to Fuji or any other mirrorless camera? Probably not. I do play with the Fuji stuff every once in a while when they send me something out to review. I like playing around with the other brands, but the full switch is like a really big procedure. What made you start YouTube, and what was going on in your head when you uploaded your first video? I started YouTube as kind of a creative outlet, which is a funny thing because my main job is a music producer and recording engineer. I was already doing like a creative job, but I felt like outside of that, I needed somewhere to put my creativity. I kind of stopped releasing music under Dunna and just moved over into this video photo world and totally fell in love with it. And as far as what was going on in my head when I uploaded my first video, I think I was just excited. I don't really think that I was that nervous. I think I understood that usually your first video, like nobody really watches it anyway. So it just kind of felt good to put one out there and see what the couple of people that did watch it thought. Excluding YouTube and any client work, what's your favorite type of photography, and when and how did you fall in love with it? I like landscape photography and I like product photography. Landscapes might just be more about like traveling and going to see places, but product photography is really fun because you get to like set up the lighting, and it's all like a very kind of clinical kind of thing where you're really being specific about how things look and you're placing things, and you're really looking for one shot in the end, but you keep moving things, and like you might set up for an entire hour or more just to get that one shot. And as far as how I fell in love with it, I think I just like to try a lot of things, and those are the ones that stuck. Is Edmonton really as bad as they say? I only lived in Calgary for half a year and never got around to checking it out. Edmonton is awesome. If you asked a bunch of people from Calgary how Edmonton is, they're gonna tell you it's bad, just like people from Edmonton are gonna tell you Calgary's bad. That's just a rivalry thing. They're both great. A couple years ago, actually around the same time that I started the YouTube channel, my wife and I got around to trying to explore Edmonton more and find some of the hidden gems kind of thing. There is so much in this city that you can get up to. It's amazing. It does snow for about 7 months out of the year though, so keep that in consideration. My neighbors are screaming. They sound like they're having fun, like they're nice screams, but they're shouting quite loud. So if you can hear that, hi neighbors. What made you want to start doing YouTube, and who was your inspiration? I bought a camera because I had started to get into like editing on my iPhone, and I thought, you know what, I want to pick this thing up for a holiday that I was going on, and I was going to make this travel vlog, and it never actually ended up happening. But when I got home from that holiday, I did kind of continue to pursue it. So it was really just like kind of to try something new. And again, like I said before, kind of that creative outlet. And yeah, I think like Casey Neistat was probably the biggest inspiration right off the bat. There were lots more after that, but he was kind of the one that got me kicked off. What's your wardrobe like? I have a pretty minimal wardrobe. I wear these black shirts. This is from a company called Booty, and it's made partially at least out of bamboo. And the idea is that it's like odor resistant, so you can wear it for multiple days. So I literally own 3 of these, and I just wear them all the time. I have a couple of like backup shirts and stuff like that. I have black jeans, again, just like 2 pairs, and I just kind of go back and forth when I need to. I have a black hoodie that's by a company called Ably. It's like a waterproof hoodie. So again, it's supposed to be odor resistant, so you don't have to wash it as much. It's more environmentally friendly because you're wearing less clothes, which means you're running the wash less. So when I look in my closet in the morning, all I see is black. And what you see in these videos is actually just what I wear every day. It makes it really nice for when I'm filming something and I need to do like pickup shots later, because chances are I'm wearing the exact same outfit I was wearing when I started filming. Continuity. Outside of the YouTube universe, who or what inspires you? Definitely my wife is a huge inspiration to me. She is, first of all, such a fantastic human being. She is one of the most caring people that I have ever met in my entire life, and that quality is something that I want to. I spilled coffee all over myself. A waste of coffee. She cares so much about other people. In fact, she should probably care a little bit more about herself. This idea of kind of like selflessness. And so that's a huge inspiration to me, and I see it from her every single day. I'm trying to steal some of it for myself. How do you keep track of your ideas, and do you script your videos? I use a couple of different tools for keeping track of my ideas. I have a program called Asana or Asana. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but I think it's Asana. And it's like a project management kind of thing. And then I also use Evernote to do kind of my scripting. Sometimes it's like a full script. I do have like a teleprompter that I use sometimes if I think it's gonna be particularly difficult to get through, but a lot of the time it's like fairly scripted bullet notes. Question 1, Dunna did it. What did Dunna do? And question 2, did you plan your way into YouTube channel, or did it just sort of happen as a byproduct of somewhere you post your creative stuff? So I've kind of answered question 2, but as far as Dunna did it, what did Dunna do? Where the name came from is the idea that like I'm primarily a musician and a music producer and an audio engineer. That's my main career. That's what I've been doing for 10 plus years now. And when I added this whole YouTube and photography and videography thing, I wanted a name that could kind of encompass anything that I would do. And so Dunna did it. It could be music, it could be photography. If I decide to start cooking, it could go for that too. Basically, Dunna did it was just generic enough that I can do whatever I want. I don't really know if that was your real question, but I just answered a question, so moving on. How much time do you put in, and how long does it take you to shoot a video beginning to end? If you're including like planning, all the setup that I do, because I like to overdo it with like lights and microphones and that kind of stuff, shooting, B-roll, editing, everything all together is usually somewhere between kind of 8 and 12 hours, depending on the video. But really it's like a bunch of little 2-hour sessions all chunked up throughout the week. Do you plan your B-roll, or do you just shoot where you are and get enough so you'll have a bit of everything when you get back in post? It's kind of a mixed bag depending on where I am, I think has a lot to do with it. So for example, when I shoot videos that are like reviews, if I have kind of a script, I'll do all of the talking head part first. And then what I'll do is I'll actually edit that. And while I'm watching back the edit of the talking head part, I'll be taking notes notes of all the B-roll shots that I want to get, and then I'll film those after. I was doing that earlier today, actually. But sometimes that just doesn't make sense. Like if I do a video where I'm like out and about outside of my apartment, then generally I'm trying to get as much B-roll as I can as I go. And I've got one more bonus question for you guys, but before I do that, I wanna say if you guys wanna ask me a question for the next time this happens, make sure to go follow me on both Twitter and Instagram. It's @DunnaDidIt. Super easy. Leave a comment on this video. Make sure to give it a like. It really does help with the videos performing well and that kind of stuff. And the final question from Becky and Chris is, do you like bananas and when are we hanging out again? First and foremost, this is a very important question. Yes, I very much like bananas, but they have a very specific purpose as a carrier for peanut butter. And as for when we're hanging out, as soon as possible, please. Thank you. A helicopter over the Rocky Mountains. Thank you so much for watching. Again, leave a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching episode 1 of 20 Questions with Dunna, and I'll see you next time.